It happened. After all the leaks, after all the posts, Kill Team Season 3 has been revealed. Scouts versus the Scorpions. On point, sort of. Jungle terrain, well, that was a bit off the mark. Before we get into it, this is YouTube, so if you're new to the channel and are into tabletop gaming of the strategic variety, maybe hit that subscribe button, maybe the like as well. And if you're interested, we do have a community Discord linked below. Did you take part in a wild match filled with twists and turns? Got any cool paint projects to show off? Join up. We'll be happy to have you. And with that, let's get into it. So, we've had a day to decompress. How are we all feeling? I've seen posts on the Vox, people who are mad they separated the teams in large terrain, people who are annoyed that the Eldar Scorpions are only part of the Eldar Kill Team, and you'll need to buy a few more boxes to finish it out if you don't already have them. So, business as usual. Personally, I prefer this separation of boxes. The fairly recent Warcry reveal did something similar, both squads and some minor terrain. I liked that. I do have a metric ton of terrain we've been collecting over time, so this split feels beneficial to my dwindling storage economy, specifically as I have very little interest in this run of the terrain. I was actually kind of hyped for the jungle setting. The oil rig setup feels a little bit uninspired. It has the limited movement of close quarters, but with none of the limited sight lines. It feels a bit like Games Workshop wanted to remind us that a jump mechanic exists in the game format. I don't know. Certainly not for me, although maybe some of you out there are interested in kicking enemies into the ocean. Live your lives. The teams, though. We've seen the scouts for some time. The loadouts make them feel closer to a lightweight legionary team. Heavy weapons alongside other focused specialists. It's an okay change of pace for the Astartes kill teams, which tend to be more simplistic in loadouts when it comes to the bespokes. What I'm interested in are the stats and team makeup. Outside of leaks and rumors, the reveal talked of them as a fundamentally 10-man team. We look at them more as Astartes agents, but to be at that scale as a team, there tend to be some sacrifices. Chance to hit, wounds, save, APL. If this team ends up being in the high end for on-field units, we could be looking at a middle ground between the Hearthkin and the Phobos. Speed with elite level accuracy, but with less durability and basic APL. This could make them interesting to some degree. I love the burst of speed that the Phobos are able to dip into, but at times when I play elite teams, I do miss having more bodies, and I imagine the command points might be centered around handing out free dashes to supplement the lower APL. Also, this Astartes team might be one of the first to walk away from the crutch of double shoot and double fight. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get some creativity out of how these Dogs of the Emperor run. But will we get 10 on the field? 8 maybe? 2 simultaneous heavy weapons? Will people be mad if I use Chaos Space Marine bits on my team? The Eldar, though, they showed the striking Scorpions, so the main rumor was true. But if you missed it, you'll also have access to Dire Avengers and Howling Banshees. Interesting, but also kind of annoying. As a player of the Phobos variety, it was a little annoying picking up a box of Reavers. As a Hierotek player, it was a little annoying picking up the Psychomancer and Chronomancer. If I wanted to be serious about wielding these Blades of Cain, let's take a peek under the hood. From what was said during the reveal, the Scorpions can be fully replaced by a leader and unit from either the Dire Avengers and the Howling Banshees. You can go monotype or mix and match in some way. Not too sure if it's based on fire teams or individual models, but it sounds like the 10 Scorpions will make up the standard team. So if the exchange is 1-to-1, 10 of the other 2 types should be possible. Dire Avengers are sold in groups of 5 for $45 US. So that's 90 right there if you want a truly ranged option. But if you want to really have some fun, Banshees are also 5 per box at $60. A solid 120 US for that. The full roster of possibilities for $210 past the box cost for the team drops. and that doesn't even include potential alternative leader builds. Not great for anyone who hasn't already been collecting or has no plans to collect the Aeldari faction. A pretty pricey team, and everything about them screams close quarters and agile movement. Pair that with the movement restricting board for the season, and things don't feel that good. They most likely will come with some mobility perks. I imagine they will have access to a Phobos Vanguard-like perk, better movement, guaranteed jump checks, but I don't know. This doesn't really feel like that impactful of an opening release for the season. Certainly it is cool to see the new sculpts for both factions. This is yet another time that Kill Team will be receiving models that work en masse in the Big Hammer ecosystem. So that's nifty. I have been wanting to build some modular catwalk terrain to enhance the verticality of my current boards, but the catwalks seem very limited for what they are out of this set. Almost disappointingly so. And the idea of limiting player movement by creating a sort of floor is lava situation while leaving sightlines fairly open for range, I predict a lot of conceal orders hugging a lot of heavy terrain for most of the game. One thing I did notice, apparently the team boxes will be coming with reference cards for units and equipment. I really like this. Until now, if you wanted to have quick reference for your team, you would have to custom order cards from exterior sources. 40K has been moving towards more easily accessible rules referencing, and I'm here for it. I've seen it in Warcry, and I've always thought, man, that would be cool to have over here. Good to see we are evolving in some ways. Will the crew of the Space Hulk project be snagging it? Yes and no. The team box for sure. Our in-house Corsair / Hand of the Archon player wishes to add them to his Space Elf collection. And I guess, just because, I'll be snagging the scouts out of the box as they would most likely collect dust on his shelf, unwanted. And even though I can't imagine they will play all that differently from the Phobos outside of their potentially less durable statting, I might be okay with that. I love mobile stealthy teams. Maybe they'll have some special rule or ploy up their sleeve that will inspire some strategies going forward. But what about all of you? I know that the consensus feels very meh, but maybe there are those among you that are truly excited by this release, planning to focus on a specific team, going to go all in on finishing out the Aeldari options. Are you interested in the jump test laden verticality of the Beta Decima board? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. Just a reminder, there is a Discord link below for our community. Join up if you're interested. Otherwise, likes for the like god, subscribes for the subscribe throne. I am Kimmerix, and I'll see you in the next one.